Richie B, the party master, on Up and Go.
We greet you with love. We say good morning to you, Jamaica. We say good morning to you, world. Welcome to Up and Go right here on the bridge, 99 FM to the world. Live on 99 on the FM band across Kingston. Live at www.thebridge99fm.com. It will be a historical day. There are a lot of things to look forward to. 8 o'clock this morning, that is when we get inside of real estate today, courtesy of Howard Johnson Realty Limited. And don't forget, it is the day, ladies and gentlemen, what will be a historical day when we get a chance to speak with none other than the legend, Burning Spear, later on this morning. Right now, it's 25 and a half minutes on the downside of 7 o'clock. And who's going to call it, you or me?
Me started.
You started.
No.
All right, I started. WTF?
What the? Look at it.
Everybody look nervous. Everybody looks nervous. You're all getting me nervous at this time, too. WTF, ladies and gentlemen. What the fact? Did you know that tinsel was once made of real silver? We have some tinsel in the studios.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know.
And it was once made of real silver. Let me tell you the story inside of WTF. Throwing some tinsel on your Christmas tree is a quick and inexpensive way to sort of jazz up your holiday decor, and it has been so for many, many years. However, it used to be a much pricier adornment. According to our sources, tinsel has its origins in the early 1600s in Nuremberg, in Germany, a place called Nuremberg in Germany, where people used thin strands of real silver in their trees to reflect candlelight, as they used to put real candles in their trees back then. And since silver was kind of expensive, being able to use tinsel in your tree was something of a status symbol back then. These days they're not using any silver in it, but it's still a beautiful thing to look at and provides great decoration, especially at this time of the year. Now it's time for a proverb of the day, and today, the 15th of December, let me see what we have for a proverb. Okay, I'm taking a glance before I allow you to hear the recording, because if it's one that I think is too difficult to even for myself to handle, I might have to say, hey, can't we take another one? But I think Richie has got a fairly short one this morning, and you have to listen to carefully to this one. Listen to our proverb of the day right now.
Say come out, fish get catch.
What?
Say come out, fish get catch.
Hold on. What you really said?
Say come out, fish get catch.
You hear that? Say come out, fish get catch. All right. The English translation, like I always say, that's the easy part. What it means, if you're listening to us in Uganda right now, or maybe in Afghanistan, and you're wondering, what did I just hear a while ago? Say come out, fish get catch. That's our patois language being exposed, but in the English translation, that would mean, because of its mouth, the fish got caught. Okay. So that doesn't help much? Well, let me give you the meaning or the translation for this proverb. See come out, fish get catch. What it really means, ladies and gentlemen, is talking too much will get you in trouble. Talking too much will get you in trouble. That is what that proverb means. Think about that today as you make it through this Wednesday, 15th of December. And by the way, today, the 15th of December, is an important day, you know. I was actually planning to have a different beverage. My television was on, and once I heard what day it is, I said, please pass me that tea. Because today is International Tea Day. Yeah. It's Richie has a way of reacting like, oh, I don't even know that. Once you see he pulls the clasp of his eyes, he goes, I didn't even know that. Yeah. So it's International Tea Day. It's observed on December 15 in many countries, such as Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, Nepal, Vietnam. In Indonesia, they're celebrating International Tea Day. In Kenya, Malawi, places like Malaysia and Uganda, India and Tanzania, they're all promoting the values and benefits of tea as an aromatic beverage that has a great demand in the world market. I picked up some facts on tea. For instance, it is the second most used drink in the world after water. This is not WTF, by the way. It's just some facts that we're sharing with you. Yeah, so tea is the second most used drink in the world after water. And I can also tell you that China is currently the largest exporter of tea. Meanwhile, here's another fact that you might not have known. India, which is also a major producer of tea, they utilize 80% of the tea that they actually produce. And it is believed that it carries a lot of medicinal value and has the potential of bringing health benefits to people. So, if you're sipping on some tea this morning, then you're right on time because it is International Tea Day. Now, at that time, it's a sponsored segment that we're approaching right now. We welcome you to Real Estate Today, brought to you courtesy of our kind sponsors, Howard Johnson Realty Limited, whose CEO is in the studios once again with us. And we say good morning to Howard Johnson. Morning, Howard.
Good morning to you, Richie. How you doing?
Not too bad at all, bro. How yourself?
Boy, I was sitting on my yard. Yard porch. Yeah, the yard, right? And I was sitting on my tea, sipping on my tea, right? Wow, that's cool, man.
You heard what Audley said when he came in. Audley says that you're trying to pass off the ownership of your yacht. What do you call it? Your yard?
My yard porch.
to Mr. MLC.
Well, no, not really.
So he's trying to indicate that you're really the owner of that.
I can only account for the yard. But I want to tell you, Richie, you had something earlier. I was sipping on my tea, and me here you talk about something, I have something for you this morning,
Yes.
It won't call itself, one of them trivia coming here this morning. So my saying is that young people get catch because are going but not yet gone. You had a phrase this morning where they're up on TV, but it's because of the going but not yet gone. Tenant them a get catch left, right, and center. So I like the phrase that we did this morning.
All right.
Yourself,
all right, thank you. Well, it's interesting that you mentioned that. This morning we're looking at a very important subject, by the way. And if you didn't hear when we mentioned it earlier, it's all about rental properties, to furnish or not to furnish. And in real estate, most people are familiar with the concept of a furnished property for purchase. But there are some companies that stage homes with the option to purchase the furniture so that potential buyers can see themselves in the space and make the move even easier. The question is, should the same concept be applied to a landlord and the furnishing of a rental property? Well, joining us this morning to discuss this matter, we have Howard Johnson Jr., as we mentioned earlier. Howie, what would you say are the benefits of furnishing a rental property?
Well, immediately, as we mentioned in the intro, the first thing that comes to mind is the appeal. When you, as a landlord, have placed furnishings in your property the way you want to sell your property or rent your property, it tells the tenants the kind of landlord that they're dealing with, and they get to appreciate the quality of stuff that you're putting in there for them. So it has its benefits, and it also accommodates those individuals who may not have accumulated all the furnishings that they need for an apartment or for a home. And if you are able to provide that for them and all they need is the keys and their clothes, then it all goes well for you. You also can command a better rental income because you are providing all the conveniences for the tenant. They don't have to go and shop for anything except for their personal items such as utensils, etc. But they don't have to look for a fridge, stove, living room set, bedroom set, beds, all of those things. Those are all part of it. So yes, it gives you the curve appeal, it gives you that impression, and it allows you to command a little bit more for your rentals.
Although there are some potential tenants who would have some of those items themselves.
That is correct. And if persons have their major pieces or major appliances or furniture in place, then and the landlord should be able to be flexible. But one thing I've observed over the years is that storage spaces are far, and I mean, you can hardly find storage spaces. So if a landlord has already invested in his furnishings, it's likely that he may not be able to remove all of it to make it unfurnished. And we'll speak a little bit more about the options that the landlord has at that time.
Okay, so what would you say are the basic items that an unfurnished rental property may include?
Unfurnished, you need to have your fittings, your bathroom fittings, such as the shower trims and the faucets. You also need to have basic bulbs, light, it should be there. A sink, in terms of laundry sink, that is also something that would be critical for an unfurnished place. So when we talk about,
at least a good wash area.
At least a good wash area, that is correct. So in essence, you want to have the conveniences without the movable parts. So all the things, because when you get a construction handed over to you, you may have some basic bulbs, you may change it out into a nice lamp fixture, etc. But you don't have to go the extent of, major appliances, major furnishings. But if you can put a few pieces in there or some things that will ease the burden of a tenant, that will also be considered unfurnished and will not attract any further charges.
Yeah. I often hear about short-term and I also hear about long-term furnished rentals. Is there a difference, and what's the difference?
Yes, there is in fact a difference in many aspects. In the industry, we refer to short-term rentals as any occupancy below 6 months. So you may have a nightly rental, as we hear in the short-term rental. So when you hear about Airbnb, it's actually a short-term rental. Airbnb is just one of many platforms that accommodate short-term rentals. So to use the term Airbnb, just because our listeners are familiar with that, you may have an Airbnb for a night, an Airbnb for a week. You may have guests coming in for a month. Some person may say, can I have this for the summer, 3 months? The winter season, they may come for 3 to 4 months.
Christmas, maybe.
Exactly. So anything up to about 6 months is what we consider short-term. Anything above 6 months obviously is what we would refer to as long-term rentals, which requires a different level of commitment. The short-term rentals actually yields the landlord a little bit more income because they can put a premium on the convenience to have a place for a night or a week, etc. So if you multiply a nightly rate and multiply that by 30 days in a month. If you're fortunate, February, that may have 28 days in a month, right? If you're fortunate, you multiply that. That's a lot of money over the period for a month. But if someone is renting long term, they can get a better rate, almost like when you go to the supermarket to buy 3 things or more, they give you a discount. So if you're renting for 6 months or more, they will be able to give you a better monthly rate than if you were to add up all those nightly rates to get a month out.
Fully understood. But in the end, what option would you say is the best for landlords now? And
as I mentioned earlier, that's the crux of the matter. So if you have a property for rent and it's unfurnished, I would recommend to landlords that they go to the market as is, unfurnished, but be flexible to meet the demands of a suitable tenant. Some persons may come in and say, all I need is a fridge and stove, or I already have my fridge and stove, could you just put in a washing machine and a living room set, or can I have a bedroom set? So your outlay for expenditure is very minimal if someone has these things. So you don't have that capital investment in your property just sitting there to be worn or to be damaged over a period of time, and you still get a decent rental income. But if the furnishing of the property will command or dictate a more suitable client, and you're getting more monies and it's somebody you believe will take care of your investment, then at that time you start to outfit the property based on the demand or the response of the market. But if you already have a furnished place and you don't have anywhere to put the furnishings, and unfortunately you're backed into a corner and have to just wait until somebody is ready for the furnishing. But if you have an option, I would go unfurnished and then furnish as needed.
If the landlord has furniture and doesn't have anywhere to store, have you seen deals where the tenant allows for them to remain? in place?
Yes, and
Yeah.
it usually occurs when persons have multiple rooms. So the tenant would agree to occupying 2 or 3 rooms, and they can now use a third bedroom or the helpers' quarters and lock all their furnishings away.
Yeah.
And nobody has access to that room except for the landlord. So some tenants, because they really want the property and they don't want to inconvenience the landlord, they strike a compromise. I'll take 2 of the bedrooms and you keep 3. Give me a reduced rental because you don't have to pay storage. Or I have no need for the helper's quarter or the storage room around the back. You can lock that away and I'll still occupy all the other spaces. So it commands flexibility and a conversation, especially going into a lease agreement between landlord and tenant. Yes.
All right, we've learned a lot so far. Do you have a tip for us today, Howie? And if
Yes,
so,
sir.
what is the tip of the day?
In deciding whether to furnish a rental property or not, consider your objectives. Like any other investment, the 2 main objectives of the property are to preserve the value and earn a profit.
Fantastic fact there, or tip of the day. It's 11 minutes now past the hour of 8 o'clock. You've been listening to Real Estate Today, courtesy of Howard Johnson Realty Limited. It's on every Wednesday morning at 8 o'clock. And now, before he goes, there's always what we call
Going, but not yet gone. Yes, sir. All right, today, Sharon Warwick, she couldn't help it but give me another property. She's one of our newer agents, and the one that we had on air last, it went like hot bread. So
Hi,
this
Sharon.
morning, so this morning she came back with another property, which is a large, well-maintained 3-bedroom, 2.5 bathroom townhouse in a centrally located and desirable Kingsway neighborhood. And you know about Kingsway.
Oh, yeah.
This road that the bridge is on. So just across the bridge, we have this 3-bedroom, 2.5 bathroom townhouse. Close to New Kingston, obviously, and Devon House. It covers 2,800 square feet and is featuring a spacious primary bedroom and a walk-through closet and leads to a spa-like ensuite bathroom. Air conditioning is available in all the bedrooms, living room, and dining room. And there's a balcony, a powder room, a private garden oasis, a water heater, a water storage tank, and a pump, and a secure 2-car garage with automatic roll-up doors, with the addition of a swimming pool and 24-hour security. And I'm saying it's just across the way from the bridge.
Interesting.
US 2,200. And that's all we're asking.
That's all?
Yeah, that's all we're asking. Yeah.
OMG.
And we're keeping some. We're giving away a Christmas special, right?
I mean, you're close to the bridge. Only 2,200 euros.
2,200
That's a good
US
deal.
for
That's
a
a good deal.
standalone 3-bedroom, 2.5 bathroom townhouse with all the amenities and all the fittings.
Where can we find Sharon Warwick today?
Sharon
if we
may
want
be
that?
contacted at 876-408-1254. That's 876-408-1254. You can send her an email at Sharon, which is SHERRON at hjrealtors.com.
All right. And Sharon, from where I sit, I just want to say, may the success you had with the last one pale into insignificance compared to the success you'll have with this one.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right,
sir.
Howard, that was really cool. So we wish Sharon all the best, and we thank you for coming through today. Where can we find Howard Johnson Realty, by the way?
As usual, unit number 15, Ligony Post Mall. That's 115 Hope Road, Kingston 6, just across from Sovereign and next door to Ashley Furnishings. And our numbers, 876-620-1457. That's 620-1457. Our website, www.hjrealtors.com, or on our social media handles using the username at HJRealtors, at HJRealtors.
All right. Thank you once again. This, of course, was Real Estate Today, courtesy of Howard Johnson Realty Limited. And you heard the CEO, Howard Johnson, as my very special guest with a lot of information this morning on a very important subject within the real estate market. We looked at, of course, this morning we looked at rental properties to furnish or not to furnish.
We remember it now, Richie. It was sake of going but not yet gone. Tenant get catch.
I remember that going forward. Hey, by the way, how excited are you about hearing Burning Spear speak in a radio interview? That
Yes, yes.
I don't think you might have heard him ever on
Nope,
radio in your lifetime.
Nope, not in my lifetime. And you know me there about for a little while. So I'm tuning in. I'm tuning in.
Yeah, man.
man.
Thanks much.
Big up yourself.
Catch you later.
All right.
15 now past the hour of 8 o'clock. We have major news coming up at 8:30. We call it News 360. New York is locked in the tri-state area. We know we're getting messages from within the tri-state area. Of course, DJ Roy will join us inside of the Global Connection later on. And our very special guest at that time will be the big man himself, Burning Spear, who will talk with us somewhere in the region of around about 20 minutes after 10 o'clock. Good morning, Pat. Good morning, Sonia. Good morning, all the connections. And we really appreciate all of you. Here's a message coming out of South Africa, where Burning Spear is very, very huge as an artist. And M. Pumalanga. Haha, I think I got that right. M. Pumalanga out of South Africa writes, I'm waiting on Burning Spear. But time is very different. I'm here in the morning, but I'm hearing you in the morning, but it's afternoon. Anyhow, he says, M. Pumalanga says, I'm legend. And he is waiting. I saw a post on the Facebook page of Burning Spear where he was saying, I'm going to be on the bridge and on Irie Jam Radio with Richie B and DJ Roy this morning. And let me tell you, there were a whole lot of anticipation coming out of the African continent. All of the countries down there representing and saying how much they're waiting on this interview. Did I tell you the story about Tory Lanez and Megan Thee Stallion? They have a court case going on, and Tory Lanez, he's from Canada. He's a big international star, and he's going to be standing trial for allegedly shooting Megan Thee Stallion, who is one of the top rappers out of the United States. I think she's from Texas, and just recently graduated, by the way, with her first degree. And he's on trial for allegedly shooting Megan Thee Stallion in her feet. And the trial into the shooting of Megan Thee Stallion allegedly by Tory Lanez has started. The testimony is gripping as witnesses paint the picture of what happened on the night when the rapper was shot. According to Detective Ryan Stogner, who is the first witness to take the stand at the preliminary hearing on the night Megan Pete, that's her correct name, was shot, Lanez, according to the officer, was allegedly intoxicated and shouted at Megan, dance-ish. We have to edit that word. So he says, dance-ish. And then he opened fire on the ground near her feet, causing injuries to both of her feet. This incident, if you recall, happened on the 12th of July after a night of drinking and partying at Kylie Jenner's house, where a pool party, we understand, was held. And I think I've seen where Tory Lanez was saying that Megan got into a fit of rage because she got jealous and thought he was trying to come on to Kylie Jenner. And that is where it all started. They were in the same vehicle, and Megan basically says when she saw what was happening and the fact that the anger was boiling like that, she decided to exit the vehicle. And it is sometime after that, according to Megan, when she left the SUV and she was standing outside when shots were fired. She's alleging that those shots were fired by Tory Lanez, while Tory Lanez's lawyers are putting forward the argument that there were other people in the vehicle and that Tory Lanez, this is a new development now that we're hearing just out of yesterday's court appearance. We understand that his lawyers are saying that Megan had other friends in the vehicle and that he was not the one who pulled the trigger. Kind of reminds me of what's going on with the movie star. What's his name? Alec Baldwin. Yeah, where everybody was saying, "Hey, but Alec, you shot your cinematographer," and he was saying, "I didn't pull the trigger." Who do you believe? I don't know. But this is an interesting one. So the trial is on, and they will continue. The next appearance, we understand, is going to be around about the 13th of January. And one of the witnesses says, as Megan exited the vehicle, she heard Mr. Peterson, that is Tory Lanez, yelling obscenities at her. And he stated, as we mentioned earlier, dance-ish. And they then began firing a weapon at her. Wow. Crazy stuff going on there. We want to see how this one will end, and we hope that justice will in fact be served. and we are happy to have your company wherever you are, especially those at www.thebridge99fm.com and also those listening right now at www.irijamradio.com. We are live in the tri-state area. DJ Roy is I won't say my partner in crime, but he's my brother, taking care of us on that side so that all of the New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut region can hear us loud and clear. And we're here in Jamaica in the studios of Bridge 99 FM, broadcasting on frequencies 99.1, 0.3, 0.5, 0.7, and 0.9 on the FM band. This is the moment of truth, the moment that you have been waiting for as ourselves. His name is Winston Rodney. OD, because he was given that honor and award by the government of Jamaica, the Order of Distinction. He's better known by the stage name Burning Spear, and he's a Jamaican roots reggae singer, songwriter, vocalist, and musician. He is a Rastafarian and one of the most influential and long-standing roots artists to emerge out of Jamaica. He joins us now, having been nominated 12 times for Grammy Awards in the Best Reggae Album category and winning twice. We have a multiple nominee and a multiple winner, and indeed a living legend. Good morning and welcome, Burning Spear.
Yes. Give thanks. Give thanks to the listener. Give thanks to you guys, who set things up and set things the way it should set. And last but least, man called Zazan. I'm just giving thanks to them, knowing that we're doing something like this today. Give thanks.
Thank you and welcome. Myself, Richie B, and DJ Roy out of Irish Jam welcome you. Roy, you want to hail the big man?
Let me say first and foremost, it is an honor to have you live on the radio with us, taking time out to, just talk about your career and the new songs and the new album. So welcome to Bridge 99 FM and Irish Jam Radio here in New York City. I know that's your home away from home also, broadcasting live from Queens, New York. Welcome to the living legend, Burning Spear. Welcome, Bridget.
Yes, sir. Give thanks.
We also welcome Zazan. Of course, Zazan has been quite actively taking care of a lot of the charitable contributions that Burning Spear is making in Jamaica through his foundation, the Spread the Love Move Jamaica. Welcome, Zazan.
Greetings and blessings, man. And it's an honor to be among so many giants.
We welcome you and we thank you for joining us, man. Burning Spear, this is a moment that we would not have heard even in my 30 years in radio, where we're getting a chance to hear you speak on the air like this. Was that a deliberate strategy why you did not actually necessarily appear as many times as others have on radio in interview settings like this?
Sometimes the time got to be right, and it leave up to who gonna be doing what or who gonna be setting up what. And some people might think I'm more like a laid-back guy, a low-key guy, who don't really like to be upfront. But sometime in life you got to be upfront. Mm-hmm. So therefore people could identify you and see who you are and what you're standing up for and what you've been doing or what you've been saying,
Yeah. And what is certain, though, is that even if you did not accommodate many of these kinds of interviews, you spoke strongly through your music. Because look at it, when many of our Jamaican artists were singing, songs like Tra La 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 La, I Love You, and so on, you were singing about Marcus Garvey, words come to pass. You were singing about Christopher Columbus was a damn blasted liar, and you were setting it up like that from early in your career.
And that man was singing, do you remember the days of slavery? Shook the world musically.
Yeah.
So that militant stance was coming through from very, very early, and it seems deliberately as well, Burning Spear.
You see, what really happened with Spears, like, what I do, it's a gift. It's not about talent, no disrespect to people with talent, but what I did is a gift. I get this gift, with my creativity, by the Most High, and I try not to be late, when I get that call, to express, myself basing upon the gift musically, so people could get the full understanding about where I stand and what I stand up for. So I'm here for the people, and my music also is for the people. My music is not about color, race, nationality, or religion. My music is all about the people, the people's music.
Right. But Spear, question. What was it like back then? Because, when you look at who was, as we say nowadays, hot at the time, they were covering songs from the States. They were covering, Sam Cooke. They were covering the Drifters, the Delphonics, the Blue Magics. But you were coming out and singing roots rock reggae. How was it received back then?
Well, that is what I've been told to do, to sing roots rock reggae. And to be honest, I wasn't thinking that it would be smooth for me to come through as an artist and expressing myself in the way I express myself and what I've been saying through the music. For at that time, you don't have a lot of artists really saying what I was saying. I was standing up there for the foundation, the roots, and don't forget about Bob also, who were there standing up in that same manner, for what he believed in and what he sent to do musically.
Interestingly, you mentioned Bob there, because even in the drop that you sent us, you actually paid respect to Bob, and it's interesting that we have you on this morning, so you can speak a little about how the connection with Bob came about, and a big suggestion that Bob Marley gave you, which you acted on to start your own career. Take us through those moments.
Oh yeah, I remember the first time I met the man. As I say, in the opposite part of St. Ann, 9 Mile, the man was going to his farm, with his donkey, a lot of plants and stuff like that. And from argument to argument, I asked him, where could I go to get started in the music business? And I remember Bob told me to go to Studio One. First he said, Studio One? I said, no. And I'm off Brentford Road, and I just followed the instruction. And I remember sometime get up early, one morning saying that I got to find Studio One. And I've been there, and I found Studio One. And my first song was Door Peep Shall Not Enter This All Alone. We wise and true man stand sipping from this upful cup of peace. So therefore I did that to chant down Babylon. And I come to the realization, Babylon is no individual. Babylon could be any man or anyone. It's the system.
It is the system indeed. Interesting story that is, in terms of how Burning Spear met Bob and the suggestion that Bob made. Just before DJ Roy throws another question in the mix, I know for sure that, and it is quite evident, Burning Spear, that your music is influenced a lot by Rastafari, and definitely you're a student of Marcus Messiah Garvey. What is it about his teachings that impressed you so much?
The first time I heard about Marcus Garvey, it was right at the corner of Main Street and Market Street in St. Anne's Bay, where I'm originally from, basing upon birth. And after I listened to them keenly, and I see where the reasoning, what they were reasoning, going, and I remember, and after the music hit high, and I were called upon to express myself musically, no way I could forget Marcus Garvey. I always remember what those men were talking about. And that is the first step of my influence based upon Marcus Garvey, right at the corner of Market Street and Main Street. And from there on, I'm on some Marcus Garvey words come to pass. I said, do you remember? I go by, I said, old Garvey. I said, Mr. Garvey. And it go on and on and on and on. So it's like a full story about Marcus Garvey through the music. When as a young man growing up and was listening to music, never heard anyone really get in to that kind of course, get into our history, get into our greats, the people who were there, the people who paved the way for not only Jamaican, but especially back in this country, in the United States of America. Marcus Garvey came to this country and opened the eyes of black people and stand up strong and make sure give them a flag, the red, the black, and the green. So I was really into that, I no way I could go into the studio and not saying Marcus Garvey. Marcus Garvey stand up. He's the first man who really stand up. I think Marcus Garvey opened the door of Jamaica and spread Jamaica all over. And Rastafari strengthened the roots and the culture. And history, it's like on my new album, I have tracks saying Marcus Garvey. I have tracks saying so many different things. I have tracks saying Jamaica.
Yes.
Jamaica history, roots, and culture is very important to the future. Why passing the essence to be somebody else? It's best to stand up for something, stand up, than stand up for nothing. One thing I know for sure, a true Rastaman will always be a Rastaman. And it's go on and on and on. This track called Jamaica from the unreleased album, No Destroyer. This album been recorded since 2011. Wow. And the only thing came from this angle is the single Mommy. Daddy loses job. Mommy get laid off. Filling out application. Don't mean you might get that call. It's a long line waiting to get that call. Up to this day, the line is still long.
Still long.
And also what I love about Spear is that all the instruments that are in his songs, and when you catch him live, you get the same vibes, the same feeling. The horns are there, the strings are there, the bass are there, the drums are there, percussions are there, everything is there. Spear, sir, and let me use the word sir too. One of my favorite songs, I'm going to play a little bit of it, and I want to ask a question after. Now, Vernon Spear.
Yeah.
This song, when I think about how long ago you recorded the song.
Yeah.
And over the last, I'd say, 18 months or so, in America, we've had over 30 Christopher Columbus statues taken down. Something that you spoke about, as we say in Jamaica, donkey years ago. 33 plus statues have been taken down in America only. And there's still more to come down. Your thoughts? Your thoughts, Bridget?
Prophecy revealed.
It's kind of funny enough. You're going to school, you have to listen to the teacher and what the teacher telling you, and you got to believe that's the teacher, and
yes.
The teacher knows it all. But after school, there's another level of teaching, and learning, and I reached that level so I could identify what the teacher was telling me about this guy, or the guy was a good guy. The guy was a bad guy. Yeah, it's bad.
But people back then were afraid to say it, Spear. Afraid.
They could not say it, They could not, But you got to make your student believe. You're there to convince your student that's okay. This is it, and this is how we're going to deal with it, and this is what you should say. You know, so in those days, you know, but as a man grow up, you know, and dealing with the music, and I could identify some things what did not right and wasn't in the right place, then I start to put them in place through the music, you know.
I'm trying to remember what it might have been like in terms of the acceptance of radio stations, especially here in Jamaica, when you use the particular line, Christopher Columbus is a damn blasted liar.
But I know Jamaica was so into Christopher Columbus. You know, Christopher Columbus like one of the number one.
Yes.
You know, but as we say, we know, you know, our knowledge grow and we grow also, and, you know, it's a different kind of understanding start through itself too. So we could see the guy who they were saying was a good guy. He was not a good guy, you know.
Yeah.
This guy was a bad guy.
Listen, you made a memorable appearance in the movie Rockers. I remember I watched it. Horsemouth came to your place. He complained that they stole his bike, and you took him down to the seaside, and you did a performance of Jah Not Dead. I have to ask you, Burning Spear, how much of an impact did that movie, the appearance in it, have on your own career?
There is a lot of impact, you know. It did a lot towards me and my works, you know. After involved in that movie and sing the song what I sing, you know, with me and Mr. Wallace, our Smoke, and it did a lot, and it opened doors for me also, you know. And then there's a lot of things happen what should not happen, you know, also. But I move on, and we got to keep moving. We can't look back. You know, once you look back, you're going to stay back. So we keep moving. But it was good, you know, being a part of that, you know, and it sent a strong message, and it causes people to even know more about Spear when I get involved in that movie. You know, I might not really benefit anything financially, but I benefit other things, like it opened doors, you know, and more people listening to Spear and Spear music. That's what it does for me.
So Burning Spear, when I listen to this song, and again, let me also shout out a friend of ours, Flint G. Damani. Very, very, when it comes to your music, when I go to his place of work, he's always talking about Spear, and he would always give me DVDs or CDs with you. And what I notice is that even though your music is predominantly talking about, you know, sufferation for people of color and what we've been through, when I look at your audience sometimes, I see 80% Caucasian people, which means your music is universal. The message is real, and everybody accepts the message. A song like that, they took us away from Africa with their intention to steal our culture. How do you perform a song like that in front of thousands and thousands of Caucasian people?
But it's easy. I'm an artist. You know, as I say, you know, I've been sent to do a work, and I have to do the work. And the way I do the work, I create space within doing the work, so everyone can have their space and feel what they feel in their own way. When I hit the stage, you know, I'm not looking at my fans. I'm looking over my fans. I never look them in the face. Never. So I know I don't want no distraction when I'm delivering the work, the duty, the message. No distraction. So I keep a straight face. And at the same time, I'm doing everything on stage what needed to be done. You know, I keep moving. So yes, they took us away from Africa with the intention to steal our culture. And the good father passed by and said, humble yourself. There's a lot of things wherein if people did humble themselves in or with, things would be better for them today. Some people try to go ahead of things. No humbleness. Humbleness is very important. Not only in music, but in other things, you know, amongst yourself and people. So yes, that's a strong song, and that's a good question. How do I go on the stage and open my mouth and sing those lines, you know, in front of all these people?
Let me tell you.
Hundreds and thousands.
Thousands. Thousands, man. I mean, this brother doesn't do club gigs. He does arenas and stadiums all over the world.
Talking about club, listen up. The first time my solo show, the first time I sold a show out
Yes.
was in Toronto, Canada in the 70s. Capacity 61 people, and that was a sold out show. That was my first sold out show.
Humble yourself.
And look at you now.
My first sold out show in the 70s back in Toronto.
6-1. Capacity.
61 people, and many band play and didn't sold it out.
Wow.
Fantastic achievement. Well, listen, when I introduced you to an audience inside of Long Beach, California at the Ragamuffins Festival, the only time I had the opportunity of doing that, it was about 28,000 people. And I remember I was seeing you for the first time, and you stepped out there. And let me tell you something, Roy, Spear has a way that one song will last several minutes.
Yes.
And just the instrumentation alone
Yes.
is moving the crowd like he's singing away. When he opens his mouth, it's a whole nother ball game. I live to see you perform again. I hope I get that chance, Burning Spears, sometime in the future.
I burn everywhere, you know. I burn in Africa, Nigeria, Senegal, South Africa, Kenya, you name it. Just you must make it straight. The name Burning Spear originated from Kenya, you know.
Yes.
But Jomo Kenyatta once called Burning Spear. And when I go Kenya for the first time, oh my God, I couldn't believe. The people were there, they were waiting, they were hungry for this music.
Yeah.
They were hoping up. Everything was right. Nothing went wrong when I've been there. Oh my God, I enjoy myself musically down to the ground.
Yeah.
When I look in front and knowing that I'm opening my mouth. I open my mouth and my voice for millions of people of all different color. But when I look in front and back in Kenya, all the heads were black heads.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
All
touching.
the heads were black heads.
Touching moment.
Yeah, that's it. I go back to my people. I go back to where I originate from. I originate from Africa, Jamaican born, American citizen. Yeah. So I go back to where I originate from.
Yeah.
South Africa, oh, that was cool, man. Senegal, Nigeria. I've been all over in Africa. Mm-hmm. And I take a good look on Africa and see how rich Africa is. Mm-hmm. But leaders of Africa need to open their eyes. Open their eyes as wide as they can so that people can see each other from a distant. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. East, West, North, and South Africa.
Yeah. Let me tell you something. I take part of the credit and maybe even part of the blame for having him on this morning in terms of highlighting some of the sizable contributions that this man is making to our country. And it's not the kind of thing, because he's not someone who boasts, but we thought, and I had to convince him, that it's important that people understand that you are giving back in some sizable and meaningful ways. And that is why he has utilized the services of Zazan, who is one of the guests right now, to do stuff in Jamaica. Zazan, give us an indication of some of the things that you have been doing with the support and backing of Burning Spear.
Oh, man, let me just first say pleasant good morning to Radio Land. And thank you for welcoming me, Sir Richie B. And let me tell you something. It is amazing when I am here listening and saying to myself, am I still in the same company, or am I just listening to the radio station?
You're a part of the conversation.
I'm a part of the conversation. It amazes me, But yes, one of the most memorable things I remember was helping this man called Daddy Leroy. He had a huge tumor on his face, and Spear. That's when I got the call that Burning Spear wanted to talk to me, and I laughed and I said, "He, I want to try to trick me," Yeah, because I grew up listening to Burning Spear music. My father so I always play a Burning Spear in the house, and so when I talked to the man, I actually scream out because I couldn't believe it. Yes, and me talked to Burning Spear, and he was a support there for Daddy Leroy. He assisted us in many ways in helping that man remove that tumor from his face. Myself alongside Prince Hall. And even the other day, he said, listen, my Uncle Zazan, I'm going to try to imitate him. I want to give to the homeless in St. Anne's Day, in St. Anne, as a matter of fact. But I want to give them something that they may want and can't get. And so what that Spear said, KFC, I right away touch a card. Because I remember as a boy, I used to see KFC and the scent and everything, and I would have wanted a piece. And I said, you know what? Yes. And we feed almost 100 people between St. Anne's Day and Ocherias thus far.
Fantastic.
Right now, there is a place in Portmore, Gregor Park, called Train Line. It's one of the impoverished community. People are dirt poor there. And I don't even know if I'm at liberty to speak some of the things that Spear have planned.
Well, you're going to have to, Spear won't. That's one thing.
He doesn't blow his own trumpets, you know that.
That's how he is. We love him for that, too.
But what you're saying is that there are some big plans to continue to support and different communities across the island as you go forward. That's what you're really saying, Zazan.
Yes. This man is committed, and he said two things to me that teach me something, and I apply that to my life every day right now. He said there are two kind of people in this world: one that wants and one that need, and I encounter that every day. Every day I encounter that now. You have some people who want, him quick to ask you. Because if you get a no, you go to the next person. But the man who need, he don't even have the strength to ask, much less to hear no.
Wise words. I want to bring back Spear into the picture, and just to say commendations to you, Father Burning Spear, for all the good that you continue to do, because it is obvious that giving back and supporting, especially the less fortunate, it's something that that you're keen to continue to do. So congratulations, sir.
Yes, we got to give back, and you got to give to those who need, as I say to Zazan, for the man who really needed him can't afford to ask, and somebody tell him no. It don't make sense him ask if it's gonna be no.
Yeah.
But the man who wants something and come to me and you and the other guy who think that we might just give to him don't need it, but him know him will get it, so him ask for it.
Yeah.
So it's very important to give back. We got to give back something. It's not like, okay, you don't have to give back. No, you don't have to give back, but I think that you should give back something.
Yeah. And we appreciate that, and we commend you on it. Our music has gone through many changes and still continues to evolve, Burning Spear. Let me ask you quickly, what are your views on what you're hearing from the now generation, and is there reason for concern from a veteran like yourself?
Well, what I really hear now, to be honest, the music business is not like before. And it's a lot of things, not only the music business, it's not like before. But we're talking about music, and to the condition and the situation where the music is right now, it's not like one time you could go to the record store and you buy a vinyl, a CD, or a DVD. So musically now, you have to look at it from a different level when you go and deal with it. It's not like you're doing performance like before, big festival and stuff like that. All these things not taking place no more. So where the music is today is that we as musicians or players of instrument or artists, we have to come up with something wherein we can be still active, dealing with our music and getting our music out there to the people, especially to the fans, and there are many ways to get it done the way I've been talking. So this is it for right now. Yes, we know that the the virus out there, and it prevent a lot of people from move around, prevent a lot of people from go places and do things what they would really like to get done. But regardless, I still believe this music, reggae music, where it's going from here, do I really know where it's going from here, basing upon everything what I just talked about? No. But at least we can find a direction for it. If we work together, we can find a direction for this music and keep it and protect it, especially the music what's standing up for something, the music what's saying something to people where people can relate to, the music what will became a guideline to the people in this time or any other time. But this music, it's supposed to be a foundational music, you know. This music's supposed to be a music. We pass on from generation to generation to generation. It's like when I used to tour, and when these folks come to my concert, they pass it on to their children, and I could live to see their children reach 15 and 16, and in some places, especially in Europe, young people go to concert. I know a lot of young people, I've been seeing them from they were 14 years of age and 12 years of age. Yeah. That's the way Europe run, you know. So this music, we have to remember, say, it's a foundational music, and we want it to pass on from generation to generation of generation, so it continue. And I would like my works to be in that kind of that movement, so people will come and listen, and this person will go on, other people come, and people go on, other people come, and the music will always be there. For the music ain't going no place; it will always be there.
Music alone shall live.
Yes.
When can we expect the new album?
To be honest, I don't know when I can make that announcement saying the album possible might be releasing this time or that time. I don't know. Just as I was saying, the way the music business is today, you know, and I'm in an album from 2011. I got to be careful if I'm going to be releasing this album now or when. But of course, this album did have to release by all means necessary. But when, I don't know. I just don't know. Maybe another single. Who knows? You know, if that is what it's gonna be, then that is what it's gonna be. Another single. If I'm gonna be releasing another single from this album, is a single called Jamaica.
Well, we're looking forward. We're looking forward to that. We are already enjoying Mommy, and we'll continue to support that. And if Jamaica is the next single, send it on, Burning Spear. Just send it on.
And when you're ready with the album, we need a part 2 to this conversation for the whole album.
I feel with music, man. You know, I bless with music. Oh, God, Jah, Rastafari. I will never forget Bob, man, that day when we met, man. You know, and from that time until this time, the spear been burning, man.
Yeah.
There will never be another burning spear or another Bob. No. Ziggy say so.
Yeah.
You know, and it's the fact.
We agree. And it's good to know that you're alive and still kicking, still active, and still excited about your musical works, brother. We know that we saw your tribute to Robbie Shakespeare the other day, and we also lost Garth recently. But listen, Burning Spear, you're alive and we're happy.
We did a lot of work together, man. Robbie playing a lot of Burning Spear album, Jack Ruby time, you know.
Yeah.
And Randy's record, and you know, VP, them time, Jack Ruby, Linda, Sly and Robbie, Levi Wallace, Mouth. We do a lot of work.
Great brothers. Burning Spear, it has been our tremendous pleasure having you this morning. You've made my day, and I feel like my career is now made. DJ Roy.
And all I would say, when the sun goes down and the moon goes up, I will call on you.
Are you ready?
Are you ready?
Are you ready?
I will call on you.
We recalled a great man this morning. We called him, and we recalled some of his history. I hope they enjoyed it. We'll get a chance to talk with him again as it becomes necessary. Thank you, Burning Spear. Good morning.
Thank you too.
Good morning, Sonia. Good morning, Pat. Good morning to all your legions of fans all around the world. Thank you, Zazan. Have a great day.
Yes.
Take care.
Jamaica, be
everybody.
Safe. Jamaica, be safe.
There you go. From the words of Spear. Richie B, what an interview, man.
What a vibe. What a vibe.
And I know we're fresh out of time, so let's do this on Friday.
Yeah, without a doubt. Take care, Roy. All the best.
Much love.
Every time.
Richie B, the party master, on Up and Go, The Bridge, 99 FM.